Hello everyone and welcome back to Potty Play Entertainment. My name is Chris and in case you don't know, I review movies and I rank them on a scale of 0 to 100 in increments of 5. I bought a new beanie. Yeah, so I don't have to keep wearing the Star Wars one all the time. And guess where I got this? The dollar store. Guess where I got this? The dollar store. Yeah, how about that, huh? Anyways, so I dropped some stuff. So let's talk about The Last Duel. This movie came out, sorry, I forgot to write my rating. This movie came out October 15th. It is November 23rd. So yes, needless to say, I have been delaying this review. I didn't see it until like a few weeks after it came out anyways. But still, I know this is a very late review. I've been trying. It's just my job. Takes up a lot of my time. But let's talk about The Last Duel. So it was directed by Ridley Scott, who made these 3 movies right here that are all very well known. Although, I gotta say, I haven't seen that Blade Runner in like 8 years. I hate Alien, and I love Gladiator. Sorry, I just do. I hate Alien. I know, I'm alone on that. But it was also written by Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, who made Good Will Hunting together, so I put that up there, which is a great movie. So let's talk about The Last Duel. So it stars Matt Damon, Adam Driver, Ben Affleck, and Jodie Comer. It was directed by Ridley Scott, and it was produced by Madison Ainley, Kevin Halloran, and Drew Vinton. And this movie is based on a true story back in like medieval times. I forget what century this takes. They say it at the beginning of the movie, but I can't remember what century it says it takes place in. But it takes place in France in medieval times. And this movie is told from 3 different perspectives. From the perspective of Matt Damon, from the perspective of Jodie Comer, and from the perspective of Adam Driver. And what happens is that Adam Driver allegedly, well, I'm not going to say allegedly because he does. He rapes Jodie Comer. Now, she's married to Matt Damon. And so this movie tells this whole unfolding from each character's point of view. The first act is told from Matt Damon's point of view. The second act is told from Adam Driver's point of view. And the last one is told from Jodie Comer's point of view. And this movie is about how she says, what happened to me was wrong, and I want justice. Even though that wasn't really common back then. Back then, if a woman got raped, she just sort of dealt with it. She just put on her big girl pants and moved on. Obviously, times are not like that anymore. That would be insane. But that's the way it was back then. I went into this movie with high expectations. I knew it was bombing. It bombed very hard. And if you can still see it in theaters, because I know it's only been over a month, so it should still be in theaters. If you can still go see this movie in theaters, please do. Please support it. Ridley Scott deserves it. This movie deserves it. Us movie fans are always clamoring for more movies like this. Right? We want these epic dramas with practical effects. And now one's come out, and no one's going to see it. What kind of bullcrap is that? Like, I understand that, like, teenagers don't want to go see this. I get that. I'm not a teenager. I'm 22. I get that people who love movies and older audiences are more the target for this film. And maybe some older audiences are still kind of hesitant about going to the theater because of the pandemic. But go see this movie. Like, if you want great movies, go support them when they come out. Instead of seeing every freaking Marvel movie. Like, I understand why Ridley Scott is so mad about the fact that this movie bombed. He just went on a rave about it, about my generation is stupid because of cell phones, and how, like, all anybody cares about anymore is superhero movies, and how superhero movies suck. Like, I get why he's mad. I really do. I thought said some stuff he isn't really true, but I understand what he's trying to say. It's that this is the type of movie that everyone should go be supporting, and they're not. Instead, they're going to support Marvel, and that sucks. It does suck. I like Marvel movies too, but can we get more movies like this? I mean, I just looked over and saw that. I mean, can we get more movies like this? Can we get more movies like these? Yeah, we could if you'd actually go freaking see them. I mean, come on. Like, Jeez. Anyway, so let's just talk about what I like about the movie. So, you know what I just realized? I have a crown here from when I did my Coming to America 2 review. This one might be more appropriate than my beanie. Yeah, I'm taking this off. Anyways, so let's talk about what I liked about this movie. So, the action is great. Wow, I'm over 5 minutes in and I'm just now getting to my pros. The action is fantastic. This is a very brutal movie. It is really violent. It's really, really bloody. But it's fantastic. The action sequences are amazing. And this isn't... The action isn't the focus of the movie. It's very similar to... hang on a minute. I have it right here. Where is it? It's in my L's. Right here. It's similar to The Last Samurai. If you've ever seen this movie, yes, there is great action in this movie, but that isn't the forefront of it. It's more about the characters and their relationships. This is one of the things I love about this film. And this movie takes a similar approach. Yes, there are a few action sequences in this, and they are phenomenal. I mean, absolutely phenomenal, but that's not really what the movie's about. It's more about these characters and the situation around them. It also has great practical effects. There's, like, as far as I know, that I didn't notice any CGI in this movie. The practical effects are fantastic. The performances are phenomenal. Everybody in this movie does such a great job. Like, this is, like, top-tier stuff, man. Everyone was really, really good in this movie. It's very powerful. It's a very emotionally powerful film. There's this great scene where, like, Matt Damon's mom is talking to Jodie Comer, and she's like, why are you, like, trying to pursue these charges? Like, this happens to all of us. I was raped once, but you know what? I got over it. That's the mindset that people had back then, and that's really impactful, because she says to that, she's like, no, I'm gonna stand up for what's right. And it's phenomenal. The movie, and before this movie came out, which is so stupid, it got this criticism of, well, she was raped, but it's all about the manly men of the movie. Actually, go see the movie before you say stupid crap like that, because it's just embarrassing. No, that's not what it's about. And even during the duel at the end of the movie, because this movie is called The Last Duel for a reason, it's about the last duel to the death in France between Matt Damon and Adam Driver, who end up dueling to the death. Whoever wins, you know, if Adam Driver's wins the fight, then she's found guilty and she gets punished. If Matt Damon wins the fight, then she's found not guilty. That was just how this was settled. And this was the very last time this was done in France. And even during that, the focus is really on her, because she knows the stakes for herself are high. They tell her, if Matt Damon doesn't win this fight, we're going to burn you alive. Oh! Yeah, she really needs him to win this fight. And I'm not going to tell you who wins the fight. I don't want to spoil it for you if you haven't seen the movie. But actually, I am going to talk about it after I give my rating, because I do have one pro I want to talk about, but it's a major spoiler, so I'm going to save it for after my rating. But even during that, when these two are battling it out, in one of the best fight scenes I've ever seen in a movie, the focus is really on her, because these two men are fighting, but it's not really about her. You know what I mean? And I'm glad the movie doesn't make it about them, because it's not about them. It's about her. The movie has great sound. All the sound effects throughout this movie are really fantastic, and they're really hemmed up. All the clashing of the metal of their suits, or fire crackling, or anything. Like, this movie has amazing sound effects. The cinematography is beautiful. It is beautiful. I love how this movie tells everything from their different perspectives. I wasn't expecting that when I went into it. I was thinking, like, why are we seeing this twice? And then, because I'm so slow. And then later on, I caught on to what the movie was doing, because I'm Chris and I'm a freaking idiot. And the writing is great. It's so great. It's such a well-written movie. I did not expect to love this as much as I did. I'm going to give The Last Duel a 100. And I honestly can't believe I'm saying it, because I went into this expecting to like it, but I did not expect to like it as much as I did. Now, it's 2.5 hours. Could this movie have been like 20 or so minutes shorter? Yeah, it could have been 20 or 30 minutes shorter. I'll admit, there's some stuff they probably could have shaved off, but it never dragged on for me. Now that I've given my rating, I am going to talk about two things, actually, that are spoilers that I wanted to say for after the rating. So if you haven't seen the movie, you can click away. If not, then... If you have seen the movie, then let's stay and talk. So, at the end, after the duel, as you know, if you're still watching this, you know, Matt Damon wins. He kills Adam Driver, he puts a knife, and kills him. Matt Damon does something that I wasn't expecting, but for me, it kind of redeemed the character, and I loved it. Because he was just fighting for his own pride. He wasn't fighting for her, he was fighting for himself. Just, you know, so... When she comes down into the battlefield, they embrace each other. And then he turns around and he takes her hand and he lifts it up in the air. And he says, look at her. Look at what she's done. She stood up for herself and she got her justice. Look at my wife. This is about her, not me. And I loved that. I thought that was just the best thing. I absolutely loved that moment. It brought me so much joy. And then it actually had a happy ending. She's with her son. She's happy. Yes, Matt Damon's character does die a few years later in the Crusades, but she never remarries. She just lives happily with her son. And I gotta admit, I did not expect this movie to have a happy ending. I really did. You would have thought the ending would have been tragic, just like the rest of the movie, but no, it's nice. Now, how historically accurate the movie is, I don't know. But I loved this movie, and I very much recommend it. Yeah, please support it. So that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to Pod Player Entertainment for more. Hit the like button. Leave me reviews, suggestions, and comments down below. Follow me on Instagram at Pod Player Entertainment for channel updates, and much love.